What we are saying is different. It's not what you're saying. You're saying is good, but it's not what you're saying. We are not saying that we continue to have what the taxes France is paying, the taxes Kenya is paying in the current setup. Those are national issues. We need a financial transaction tax at a global level where even countries like Kenya pay. We do not want anything for free. You will pay more eventually because you have a bigger economy. We will pay commensurate to our economy. And we want those resources controlled not by IMF and World Bank. Because IMF and World Bank, you have the final say. We don't have no say. We want another organization of equals, where you have as much say because you pay, as much as we do because we also pay. That's the organization we are looking for. And that is why we are saying we need a new financial architecture where governance, where power is not on the hands of a few people. We can agree on the governance of the institution. We can agree on the sharing of power so that all of us have access to resources that go to making sure, number one, renewable energy. We invest in decarbonization. Number two, adaptation, mitigation, smart agriculture. Number three, restoring our planet, restoring our biodiversity, and making sure our carbon sinks work. This is what we are saying, and we would appreciate a little understanding. We want to be, we are talking the normal. If we continue talking the normal, Emmanuel, we will never solve this problem. Things are not going forward, they're going backwards. Tokenism, installment will not solve this problem. We have a much bigger problem than the installment we are discussing here will solve. You're not hearing us.
I will, if I may,
yeah.
I will answer you in 2 words to conclude. No, but
and let me just finish one more. When Ajay was saying 1 to 5 or 1 to 1, who is 1 and who is 5? Private sector versus who is 1 and who is 5?
$5 of private sector mobilization for every dollar of money that comes in.
5 from private.
Surely, Ajay. How do you persuade the private sector to bring their money for public good? Private sector is driven by profit, my friend. I mean, unless you persuade me otherwise.
So guys, here is President Ruto again explaining to the West and to the powers to be, which is the IMF, the World Bank, Macron himself, and that Africa, we are not beggars. We don't want special treatments. We need fairness. As he's saying, the IMF and the World Bank have the final say in almost everything financial when it comes down to Europe, including the European, because they have a say in the World Bank as well, because that was the purpose of the World Bank and the IMF designed to keep Africa underdeveloped. That was the sole purpose of the IMF. So now, what President Ruto is saying, that we don't want that system anymore because we are paying 8 times what even France paid. And France is a bigger economy than, for instance, let's say Kenya. So how is it Kenya is paying 8 times what France is paying? So that's not fair, that's not right, because the economy is bigger. And what he's saying is, what he's saying indirectly is, he's going with the BRICS system, because at least in the BRICS system, they have a say. They have a say so. In the IMF, which is an organization that's just an arm of Europe, the EU, that still seeks to punish African countries. And Macron knows this, because did you guys, side note, did you guys know that UK, Germany, and France is printing 50%, 40%, 40 countries, sorry, not 40%, 40 countries in Africa is split up between UK, Germany, and France that maintain African currency. I think France mint around 10 to 14, if I'm not mistaken. It's not hard to find online, you can look it up. And so they control the money flow in 40 countries. And they control, and also you have over 14 countries using the French franc. And that well, the East African countries, because right now they are currently trying to switch and use one currency in East Africa instead of using they want to get rid of the franc and currently own it. Like 7 to 8 countries currently is in talks to have one currency, disband and no longer use the French franc, which is common sense. So back to the story. So that's why Ruto is saying here, you guys treat us unfairly for years, and the resources, again, you're already taking it. And then one more side note, did you know that African countries, like for instance, produce gold, can't sell it themselves because they're not certified to sell the gold? They have to go to a company, a UK company, a French company that's certified to put that stamp on the gold for it to even to be sold. So you have to partner with them and they get mother of a share and blah blah blah. So my point is, Africa there's so many red tape that holding down the continent financially, but people don't realize this. People are saying, oh, Africa governments are corrupt. I'm not saying they're not, but not all. And they don't know how to manage money and they have resources and blah, blah, blah. It's not that easy. There's so many things put in place to make sure they can sell or mine their own resources on a global level. So it kind of hampers them, so they have to work with the Europeans. And then this is what they're trying to change, Ghana, Zimbabwe, Uganda already put some of this in place to try to get credited for certify their own goal. So as I said this, in every way and every turn, from the IMF, the World Bank, to France, they're all taking a part of Africa. And then saying through press conferences that they want this and we are helping, we're giving aid, we're general. Africa don't want aid or generosity. As President Ruto is saying in this speech, we need fairness, equal access to everything that Europe have, and stop with this undermining and painting Africa as less than. That's what she's basically saying. So this is why I think President Ruto is so quick to, remember he announced a couple months ago, he's dropping the US dollar, big move, and then he's definitely going to go join BRICS. I can guarantee that he's going to get into BRICS because it will be a more favorable deal. Because remember, the BRICS have their own central bank. Once you have one central bank, and then once you become, whenever they get their own currency, or whatever they settle on, if it's going to have a basket of currency, are going to use one. But I think they're going to most likely use, like, trade within a basket of currency, just like the IMF does, which is IMF trading in the Japanese yen, the Chinese yen, the euro, and the US, and the pound, the England pound. Those 5 currencies are what the IMF trading. So if the BRICS can do the same, like trade with, for instance, the Indian rupee, the Russian, I forget the Russian currency name. It's slipping my mind. And the Chinese yen. If they can use those 3 currency, and maybe who knows, maybe as an African currency, we'll see. But either way, that will become a better deal and a better way to trade and to get loans and to do developments via BRICS. And that is what they're afraid of. That's why they're fighting so much to not make BRICS become a reality. And even though they can't stop it, so now even Macron himself is trying to get into BRICS, which is, Mexico was saying, it seemed like it could be a Trojan horse. He's trying to become a spy for the West, if you let me. But I don't see the BRICS letting in Macron, because Macron is a part of the West. He's a part of the Western system. So why would we bring someone in that's a part of the system and not a part of that colonialism and bring them into something new? I'm not saying it can't happen, but it's highly unlikely. But again, France also only do what's in their best interest. They tend to not always get dragged into certain things, but still they can't trust them because, again, they're Europeans and most of them see black people as monkeys. They have a few ministers, even in France, calling African monkeys. And so it's been known, Romanian, even Ukraine. Do you remember how badly the Ukrainians treated black people when the war started, kicking them off trains, telling them dogs and cats and animals have to go on the train before black people can go on the train. And they take off pregnant black people, and it was a whole mess. So they don't see us as equals until we become more financially stable and more financially secure, and can be a force in the world economically wise. Then they're gonna start to have more respect for African countries. Whether you like us or not, we are the richest country, not the country, we are the richest continent. But because of red tapes and as much as some of these African countries are independent, they are not solely independent, because they still, like Cameroon, Senegal, Mali, Burkina Faso, Guinea, and Togo, and a few others still under France, even though they are independent, but they are not fully autonomous. So that's a whole, and that's what people don't understand. There's a whole heap of things put in play in the 1894 Berlin Accord. When they divide up Africa, they put a lot of regulations and a lot of rules in place to keep the countries from becoming and recognizing who they are and be who they can be all what they can be. But there are a few countries in Africa taking steps towards this, like Kenya, Uganda, Namibia, Zambia, Zimbabwe. South Africa, I'm still watching Ramaphosa, because one minute he do something nice, want something more positive, something, and the next minute he goes the opposite. So he's flip-flopping, so I'm not sure. But he's independent. Well, not fully, because they still have the white elites at, behind Ramaphosa, and they don't allow certain things to happen. That's why Malema, I think, is rising so much, because he's gonna be he's like a revolutionary when it comes down to the system in South Africa. Anyway, but I don't want to get your sidetracked. My point is, the African countries are now finally realizing and taking steps to get rid of some of these red tapes and cut out the Western and the European system, and then stick to their own and getting their own currency, trading in their own currency. And that is starting with the African Union is also a big step forward as well, with helping the African countries to trade with each other. And it's happening more and more, because Ghana is trading with Namibia, and South Africa is trading with Ghana. Zambia just signed a deal with Namibia to have their citizens don't need to get a visa, or they can travel freely between each countries. And there's more and more of this happening. They are trading in wheat, they are trading in agriculture, and they are sharing. So that's a big thing. In the next 10 years from now, the African continent is going to be a booming economy and a continent to be reckoned with. So anyway, thanks for watching. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comment section, and then we'll discuss it after. Boom. Peace. Love. Don't know. Ha.